Hi, thank you for joining Pioneer. My name is Aaron Pence. I'm from the Norman Central Library. I appreciate you spending a few minutes with me today. Our maze works, and our ball listens to it, but there's no way to win. Let's make our ball a starting area and a finish line. The first thing is the easiest thing. We just need to make the ball move to the very start. Click and drag on the ball to move it to the very start of the maze. Then, go to the blue motion blocks and find the Go to XY block. Snap that in at the very start of your script, under the When Green Flag Clicked block. I bet you're getting used to that one. The idea of resetting your game each time is very useful and powerful. Getting things lined up just right can make all the difference between a busted game and a totally fun one. Now, all we have left to make our game work just right is to have an end to our game. There should be a goal the players know how to get to. It should be obvious enough, and it should work with our programming language. Well, you can see the end of the maze right here. That's obvious enough. But what tools do we have in Scratch to see if something is here or not? You know, one of the tools we have is that we can check if something is touching a color or not. There's no color here right now, but we can always just paint a color here. Then we could check to see if a ball is touching that color, and if it is, you could win. Perfect. So we need a color here. To do this, we don't need a new backdrop, which is what we've been doing. We just need to edit the backdrop we already have. Click on the backdrop over here in the Stages area on the bottom right, then click on the Backdrops tab at the top next to Code. This takes us into our familiar paint editor. Sweet. First, let's zoom in and get to the tippy top. A couple clicks on the plus sign magnifying glass, and then click on this scroll bar here to get up to the very top. Lovely. Now, what we want is to make something like a green or a purple line here over the exit. I think the easiest way will be with a rectangle, though you could talk me into the paintbrush or the line tool. In Scratch, there's often a lot of different ways to do the same thing. Click on the rectangle tool here. And then we need to change the outline color. I think purple sounds good, so I'll use purple. It really can be any color that isn't black. Watch carefully that you know the numbers for your color here. You see mine is 84, 100, 100. Yours doesn't have to match mine, but you do need to know what yours are. Also, make sure your line thickness, this number here next to the outline, isn't too high or too small. I'll put mine at 5. Then, click and drag a rectangle into the gap here. If you don't get it right the first time, whoops, that's no problem at all. Just click the undo arrow right here and try again. All right, great. Once you feel good about your purple maze ender, click the Code tab on the left and click on the ball sprite in the bottom right. I'm also going to click the minus sign magnifying glass twice so you can see my whole script. There's only one problem. Even if you get all the way to the end, nothing will happen. You get all the way there and nothing. No trophies, no celebrations or fireworks, no peanut butter sandwiches or chicken cacciatore or nothing. Well, think about it. We didn't tell it to. We made a purple rectangle, and that's it. We didn't tell it to give us trophies or sandwiches. And remember, computers are very specific. If you want them to do something, you've got to tell them. So let's do something simple. We can just make a U1 backdrop and switch to it whenever the ball hits the purple rectangle. You've done this before. First, we need to paint a new backdrop. Point at the Choose a Backdrop button, don't click, and then click on Paint above. You should be creative here. I'm just going to do something simple. First, I'm going to click the equal sign right here to stop me from being zoomed out. You probably will need to do the same thing. I think I'll just paint the word U1. I'll click on my paintbrush here. I'll change my color. Let's do red, bright red. And then I'll paint U1. Maybe I'll put in a couple of fun lines over on the side. But I bet you could do better. I bet you could draw trophies, or sandwiches, or victory swamplands, or the otter of justice praising you, or something super cool. There we go. Don't forget to rename your backdrop when you're done. Click in the costume name above. Hit the backspace key. I'll call mine U1. Before we go back, you can't see your maze right now, and you need to be able to see it for the next step. So on the left, right here at the top left, I want you to click on the maze backdrop to switch your game back to your maze. Now, all we need to do is make sure that our code switches to the U1 backdrop when we're done. Click on the Code tab at the top, then click on the ball sprite in the bottom right. Can you see how we're going to build this? First, we need an if-then block from the orange control blocks. Bring it over here and leave it on the side. Next, we need a touching purple sensing hexagon from the light blue sensing blocks. Grab it and snap it in to the if block. Make sure to change the color. Click on the bubble, click on the eyedropper, go right up to the purple color you rectangled in a minute ago, and click. This is where you needed to remember those numbers from before. If the numbers don't match, you need to adjust the sliders to make sure that they do. If the numbers don't match for the colors, then this won't work. Here's another hint too. Pay attention at the end of this video. If your maze doesn't work, try adjusting the color number, this top slider here, down one number. My colors should be 84, 100, 100. If that doesn't work, I'll try changing those numbers to 83, 100, 100. Scratch is funny about colors. Now, we only need 2 more blocks. In the purple looks category, find the switch backdrop to block and snap it into your new if block. This is what will happen when the maze is finished. Make sure the backdrop reads U1. Snap that if block into your forever loop, but not into one of the ifs for your controller. Do you see? I'm moving it right under forever and above the first if. Also, you will want another switch backdrop to block at the very start of your script, right under the when green flag clicked block. Click it in and make sure that maze is selected. If you don't use that block, then after the first time you win, you'll never get back to the maze. Okay, here's the big moment. Click the green flag and give it a shot. Oh no. Do you see? It didn't work. Well, this is what I warned you about a minute ago. So we're going to take a look at our if touching color block, click on the color, and we'll adjust the color slider down 1 tick. Did you see that that made it work? Here, click the green flag and give it a shot. Yes! Sweet, you've got a working maze. Now, go make your own. Get a totally different maze. Make your own kind of ball. Make sure you know just how fast to move it. And don't forget to make your own sweet ending screen. When you're done, share your projects and link them in the comments down below. I hope you had fun. Thanks a lot. See you soon.